So I see there's some questions in the chat. I don't know if Amy and Leslie would like to talk or ask their question out to everyone, or their comment, or
just from my side, I suppose something that I was thinking about as we were talking about you know, who gets to decide whose name and who gets ownership and things like that, and I still can't pronounce it. But one of the young people in the study, he said to me recently, I was doing member checks and following up, and he said, will I be a co-author? And on the thesis itself. So we figured out ways of that for publications, but I was wondering how, or if anybody has done this and if it's doable. I wasn't really sure what to ask, so I said I'd look into it. But how could I acknowledge the input into the PhD, and the young person themselves wants to be a co-author?
I think that goes in the acknowledgements, and it certainly is within the thesis itself in terms of the people who were engaged in the process. I have not heard of a participant being a co-author. It might be a dangerous road to go down.
Well, yeah, unless they've actually really co-authored all your work and everything. I think yeah, the title co-author might be a bit too ambitious, is it? Or yeah.
One of my PhD students, his participants insisted on having their real names, and so he used them. And this was after he got ethics approval, but ethics never came back. And yeah, I've written in the chat there other things he did to acknowledge them. And I think it's important also that out of this study, they also got other benefits in terms of, some of them were then employed at the, you know, at the university in that as researchers, and they carried on. So, you know, I think it's only ethical that people get something out of it. But with children, it's a different story. Ethics board's very wary when it comes to kids.
Any other comments or suggestions there that people?
I opened my dissertation with, I mean, my dissertation had the names of all of my participants, but that was before human subjects review processes even existed. So I guess I got in at the right time. The other dissertation that I read recently as an external reviewer was one by Rosalind Beadle, who's an Australian action researcher who is working with a group of Aboriginal women. And all the women are represented by their own names, but she also does the most remarkable job I've ever seen of really putting her participants center, in that she opens a dissertation with a piece of Aboriginal artwork by the woman who sort of started this women's group in the community she was working in. And then the story of their project is in their language. And then the story of their project is in English. And then she begins the dissertation. And I just think it's one of the most remarkable pieces of work I've ever seen.
Yeah, thank you.